Comment down below where you're watching from and like and subscribe if you hate Karens. Okay, buckle up, Reddit, because you're about to hear a story that's a wild ride from start to finish. It all went down a few months ago, and honestly, I'm still chuckling about it. So, picture this. I'm Miles Johnson, 42, software engineer, and I just bought a new condo in what I thought was a pretty chill neighborhood in Denver. It was one of those modern complexes with exposed brick and a rooftop lounge. You know the type. I'm black, by the way, which becomes relevant real quick. The day after I moved in, I decided to swap out the front door lock. New place, new locks, right? Just a standard deadbolt replacement. I had my tools laid out, the new lock ready to go, and I was humming along to some old school Stevie Wonder when I heard a voice. "Excuse me. What do you think you're doing?" I turned around, and there she was, Karen. Middle-aged, blonde bob, sunglasses perched on her head, the whole 9 yards. Her name was Deborah, I later found out. "Just changing the lock," I said, trying to keep it friendly. "You can't just change the lock. This is a private building. Are you even supposed to be here?" Her voice was already escalating. I held up my keys. "I live here. Just bought the place. Unit 204. Deborah squinted at me like I was speaking Swahili. "I've never seen you before. You need to prove you live here. I'm calling the police." I stared at her, dumbfounded. "Seriously? You're calling the cops because I'm changing the lock on my door? I don't know who you are. You could be breaking in. I'm protecting the neighborhood." She was already dialing. I sighed. This was going to be one of those days. 5 minutes later, 2 Denver PD officers showed up, looking as thrilled as you'd expect to be on a call about a door lock. I showed them my ID, the property deed on my phone, and the keys. They confirmed everything was legit, gave Deborah a stern talking to about wasting police resources, and left. Deborah just stood there, arms crossed, looking like I'd personally insulted her ancestors. "Well," she huffed, "I still think it's suspicious." I just shook my head, finished changing the lock, and went inside. I figured that was the end of it. I was so wrong. Over the next few weeks, Deborah made my life a living sitcom. She'd accidentally bump into me in the hallway and give me the stink eye. She'd complain to the building management about suspicious activity near my unit. She even started a neighborhood watch group, and I'm pretty sure the only thing they watched was me. It was ridiculous, exhausting, and frankly, infuriating. I tried to ignore it, but it was hard. Every time I left my apartment, I felt like I was being scrutinized. I started getting anxious about mundane things, like taking out the trash or checking my mail. I even considered moving, but why should I let some busybody Karen drive me out of my own home? I decided to fight back, but not in a way she'd expect. I'm a software engineer, remember? I solve problems with code. So, I started brainstorming. How could I get Deborah to leave me alone, or better yet, make her regret ever targeting me, without stooping to her level? Then it hit me. See, part of my job involves cybersecurity. I know a thing or two about online privacy and data protection. And I knew Deborah was the kind of person who probably didn't even know what a VPN was. I started subtly gathering information. Deborah was surprisingly active on social media, posting about everything from her grocery shopping trips to her opinions on local politics. She loved sharing photos of her grandkids, her dog, and her meticulously manicured garden. I used this information to create a targeted ad campaign, but not the kind you're thinking of. I didn't want to harass her. I wanted to educate her, the hard way. Using publicly available data and some clever coding, I created a series of hyper-targeted ads that followed Deborah everywhere online. The ads looked innocuous at first: articles about data breaches, quizzes about password security, infographics about online scams. But they were all tailored to things she had posted about. For example, she posted a picture of her dog, Sparky, with his name and breed clearly visible. The next day, she saw an ad. "Is your pet's name and breed a secure password?" She posted about her favorite coffee shop. The next day. Protect your location data. Why public Wi-Fi isn't always safe. She posted about a recent vacation. The next day. Travel scams. How to avoid identity theft on your next trip. At first, she probably thought it was a coincidence. But as the ads became more specific and more frequent, I could tell she was starting to freak out. I saw her posting on Facebook about how she felt like she was being watched, how her privacy was being violated. People commented, telling her she was probably just being paranoid. But I knew she wasn't. Then came the piece de resistance. Deborah was a big fan of online shopping, and she frequently posted about her latest hauls. One day, she posted a picture of a new dress she bought, mentioning the online boutique where she got it. The next day, she saw an ad. Is your credit card information safe? Learn about the risks of unsecured websites. The ad featured the logo of the exact boutique where she bought the dress, along with a warning about potential security vulnerabilities. That was the breaking point. A few days later, I got a knock on my door. It was Deborah, looking pale and shaken. Miles, she said, her voice barely a whisper. I need to apologize. I've been doing some research, and I think I understand now. I was wrong to judge you, wrong to call the police. I'm so sorry. I just looked at her, trying not to smile. Apology accepted, Deborah. Maybe next time, you'll think twice before profiling someone based on their skin color. And that was it. After that, Deborah left me alone. She even started being nice. She'd wave hello, hold the door open, and even complimented my landscaping once. It was like she'd had a complete personality transplant. But the real kicker came a few weeks later. I was at the building's annual HOA meeting when the president announced that Deborah was stepping down from her position as head of the neighborhood watch. She said she was moving out of state to be closer to her daughter. I didn't say anything, but inside, I was doing a victory dance. So Reddit, that's the story of how I used my coding skills to teach a Karen a valuable lesson about privacy, prejudice, and the power of targeted advertising. Was it petty? Maybe. Was it satisfying? Absolutely. TLDR, Karen called the cops on me for changing my own door lock. I used my cybersecurity skills to make her think she was being targeted by hackers, and she ended up moving out of state. But here's the twist. A few weeks after she moved, I got a call from the Denver PD. Remember those officers who responded to Deborah's initial call? Well, they had been investigating a series of small-time scams in the area, and Deborah's name kept popping up. Turns out, she wasn't just a busybody, she was a low-level con artist. The ads I created? They weren't just educational. They were also incredibly accurate. I had uncovered evidence of her illegal activities. The police were able to use that information to build a case against her. So yeah, Deborah didn't just move to be closer to her daughter. She moved to avoid getting arrested. Turns out, karma isn't just a dish best served cold, sometimes, it's served with a side of justice.